Welcome back. I'm attorney Thomas Burton. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to see if your business name is available in Wisconsin. So today's video is for entrepreneurs and prospective business owners thinking about starting a business. Maybe you have an idea of a company name. Maybe you're already operating a business under your own name as a sole proprietorship, but you're looking at forming a business entity and you've come up with some names and you're thinking about which one would work for me. What should I use for my LLC or C corporation? Well, once again, we're going to go to the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions website, wdfi.org. And then make sure you're on the official state of Wisconsin website because you can search this name for yourself for free. You don't need to pay a search company to do this in Wisconsin. And you go to I want to search on the top left and click on corporate records. This is the page you want to see, search corporate records. And this has everything you can search here. The legal entity name, the date of registration, entity type, corporation, LLC, registered agent, registered office address, the entity ID, which is what Wisconsin assigns to it. And they're saying this is not the same as a EIN, Federal Tax Employee Identification Number. This is just what Wisconsin uses to identify your LLC or corporation. Charter document filing, office address, current status. The other things over here are on other websites. So it also doesn't cover trade names here, which is a trade names doing business as or trademarks, which is a different topic. But this is the actual entity name, which is the first step before you would form your LLC or your C corporation with your lawyer. You want to see if your names are available. And if you're working with your lawyer, he can do the search for you as well. But if you're thinking about doing this on your own or just researching names, this is a good place to start. You'll see up here, there's this name availability. And we can go with our Badger painting example, which I've used before, and you'll see there is already a Badger Painting LLC in the state of Wisconsin. And it says restored to good standing in 2018, meaning it's up to date. It's not a company that used to exist and was dissolved. So that name is not going to be available. Now, I think in my other video, I talked about what if we do Badger Best Painting. And it says here, no records appear to conflict with the name you entered. Although there appears to be no conflict, final determination cannot be guaranteed until the document has been received, examined, and filed by our department. So what I'm showing you here today is a way to, whatever your name you're thinking about, this is a good way to just make sure nobody in Wisconsin already has the exact same name. Now, you want to do other research such as Google, and to see if other businesses are using your brand. You don't want to be too likelihood of confusion. For example, if you're in the same town as Badger Painting, maybe you don't want to be Badger Best Painting because a painting service is still the type of business that's going to compete generally in a geographic area. But if you're farther away from Appleton and you really like the name, maybe being Badger Best Painting works for you. But let's say your name is Pete, you could just be Pete's Painting LLC. And it's always good to search with it with the entity you're thinking about forming and without. So you can add the LLC name in. When I'm working with clients, I recommend you name your LLC exactly what brand name you want to use. Now, there is a way to to name the LLC. If you're planning to be a business that's open to the public for that type of thing, then you can put your LLC on all your signs and it's the same as your brand. Let's do something like Kate's Cupcakes. And this just gives you a general overview. So you want to search it different ways, and make sure you're not missing something if it's really your brand. But I'll show you if you just do a simple like Badger, it comes up with the Badger Company Inc. So that has been registered, and let's see here. It's in good standing. Yes, restored to good standing. So that's not available. And there's an example of an C corp, not an LLC. Now you can go to advanced search where you can do the exact phrase, all of the words, entities, registered agents. So you might want to do this too if you're thinking about your name to see, maybe there was an entity a couple of years ago, and if it had some, let's say, bad publicity, you might not want to be that business. Even though they went out of business, you might inherit some of that bad customer experience from the business. So it's good to look around and do your research on this. Let's just try Badger Best. One more search here. Maybe someone else has used that. There, we've got Badger Best Foods, administratively dissolved in 2009, and Badger Best Pizzas, which was dissolved. So Badger Best Foods was in Green Bay, and let's see, dissolved as of 2009. So that's a while ago in terms of likelihood of confusion when you're thinking about your business. And Badger Best Pizzas, also 1998. So if you were opening a pizza place, maybe you'd think about this. But the good news is the 90s have been a while ago. It was pre or early internet in terms of, let's say someone went there and had a bad experience and left a bad review. If you opened Badger Best Pizza shop or restaurant, you might not want that showing up on Google for your business. But this looks more like it was possibly not a restaurant, but making pizzas. So anyway, I'm just trying to give you a lot of tips when you're thinking about your name. And I'll just end with showing you once more from the home page. You go to I want to search corporate records, and here's where you can type in your names. And I would do this search in Google as well, because you could do the Google search in Wisconsin. This is just for Wisconsin. So if you're a brand that's planning to go online, you're going to, even though you could register the name in Wisconsin, you want to see is someone else using it nearby in another competing state, because although you can register as that in Wisconsin, it could still be an issue for you branding nationwide, right? But if you're more of a local business, like some of my examples, the pizza place or the cupcake shop or lawn care, where a lot of your customers are in the local area, then you want to think more locally, right? About who's nearby that's going to have the same name. That might be confusing. And just because you can register a business name doesn't mean it's smart for business branding. You want to look at what can I legally operate under, and also what's going to make sense for me marketing this business long term. So I hope that's helpful to you. And again, it's wdfi.org. Search corporate records, and you can look at your names for both LLC or C Corp. Let's do just one more before we end. Wisconsin Painting. There. So Wisconsin is super popular in the state of Wisconsin, and you'll see a bunch of people have used it in their painting business. And Wisconsin Painting LLC is organized in 2019 and still operating, so you can't use that. But you can see the ways people use it creatively. Always Painting of Wisconsin, Badger Painting of Wisconsin. They were dissolved. So there's another one, 87. It's possible if you wanted that name, you could have it. But again, you want to think about, is there any bad publicity with this company? 2008. That's a little more recent. Wisconsin Painting Contractors, Wisconsin Drywall and Painting. So lots of ways you can get to the name you want with a combination of your words to form your brand. Just remember, you cannot use a company that's already in existence. And even if you can get real close to it, think about if you want to do that, does it make sense for long-term marketing and business success? So again, that's how to search to see if your business name is available in Wisconsin. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, give it a like, a comment, and we'll see you next time.